In a high-stakes lab at a cutting-edge robotics firm, 30 elite engineers scrambled to fix a critical glitch threatening a $200 million project. But it was 22-year-old delivery girl Priya Sharma, unnoticed and underestimated, whose single insight cracked the impossible problem, leaving the world stunned and rewriting her future overnight. Priya Sharma, 22, pedaled her bike through the bustling streets of Bengaluru, India, her backpack heavy with lunch orders for Neo Robotics, a leading AI and robotics company. A recent high school graduate, Priya worked as a delivery rider for FoodSwift to support her family, her widowed mother and younger brother, Arjun, 15. She dreamed of studying computer science, but lacked the funds for college, so she taught herself coding through free online courses, spending nights hunched over a second-hand laptop. It was a sweltering Tuesday in July 2025, and Priya's shift was routine until a last-minute order sent her to Neo Robotics' sprawling campus. Inside Neo Robotics Lab 7, tension was palpable. The company's flagship project, Atlas, a humanoid robot designed for disaster response, was days from a critical demo for global investors, including a $200 million contract with the UN. But Atlas had a fatal flaw. Its navigation algorithm failed in cluttered environments, causing it to freeze or crash into obstacles. 30 engineers, some with PhDs from IIT and MIT, had worked around the clock for weeks, but the glitch persisted. The project lead, Dr. Anil Kapoor, 45, faced mounting pressure from CEO Meera Gupta, who warned that failure could tank the company's stock. Priya arrived at the lab's reception, her helmet under one arm, and handed over the food order to a frazzled assistant, Samir. "Lunch for Dr. Kapoor's team," she said, her voice cheerful despite the sweat on her brow. Samir barely glanced at her. "Leave it there. We're swamped." Priya nodded, placing the bags on a table cluttered with papers and coffee cups. As she turned to leave, she overheard Dr. Kapoor's voice through an open door. The pathfinding algorithm stuck again. It's prioritizing static obstacles, but ignoring dynamic ones. "We've tried every model, Dijkstra, A-star, RRT. Nothing works." Priya paused, her curiosity piqued. She'd studied pathfinding algorithms in her online courses, fascinated by how drones and robots navigated. She lingered, pretending to adjust her backpack. As an engineer, Priyanka, 32, groaned, "We've rewritten the code 3 times. The demo's in 4 days. We're toast." Dr. Kapoor rubbed his temples. "Mira's breathing down my neck. If we don't fix this, the UN deal's gone, and so are our jobs." Priya's heart raced. She knew she shouldn't eavesdrop, but the problem sounded familiar, a challenge she'd tackled in a coding project for navigating a virtual maze. Hesitant, she approached Samir. I couldn't help but overhear. Is the robot's navigation issue about dynamic obstacles?" Samir frowned, sizing her up. "Yeah, why? You're just the delivery girl." Priya swallowed her nerves. "I've studied some coding. Maybe I could take a look? I've worked on pathfinding before." Samir snorted. "You? We've got 30 engineers with degrees. No offense, but this isn't your league." Priya's cheeks burned, but she pressed on. "I'm not saying I'm better. Just maybe a fresh perspective could help. I won't touch anything, just look." Samir hesitated, then shrugged. "Fine, but don't expect them to listen. Wait here."
He poked his head into the lab.
"Hey, Anil, the delivery girl says she knows pathfinding. Wants to help." The room went quiet. Dr. Kapoor looked up, incredulous.
"What?"
"We don't have time for this." Priyanka, exasperated, snapped. "Let her in. Can't hurt. We're out of ideas, anyway." Priya stepped into the lab, her sneakers squeaking on the floor. The engineers stared, some curious, others annoyed. Atlas, a sleek 6-foot robot, stood motionless in a test area littered with boxes and moving drones simulating a disaster zone. Dr. Kapoor sighed. "What's your name, and what do you know about pathfinding?" "I'm Priya Sharma," she said, her voice steady despite her racing pulse. "I've studied algorithms online, Dijkstra, A-star, some reinforcement learning. I built a maze solver that handled moving obstacles by weighting real-time data over static maps." The engineers exchanged skeptical glances. Dr. Kapoor crossed his arms. Our problem's more complex. Atlas freezes when dynamic obstacles like drones or people cross its path unpredictably. We've tried hybrid models, but the latency's too high. Priya nodded, her mind racing. Can I see the code? Just the navigation module? Priyanka, intrigued despite herself, pulled up the code on a monitor. Priya scanned it, her eyes darting over lines of Python and C++. The room watched, half expecting her to give up. After 5 minutes, she spoke. You're using a weighted A-star with a static cost map, right? But the dynamic obstacles aren't updating the map fast enough because the replanning loop's too slow. Dr. Kapoor blinked. That's accurate. We've optimized the loop, but it's still lagging. Priya bit her lip, thinking, what if you bypass the full replan? Use a local reactive layer, like a potential field for dynamic obstacles, and keep a star for the global path. It's faster because you're only adjusting locally in real time. The room fell silent. Priyanka leaned forward. That's not a bad idea. We tried potential fields early on, but they caused oscillations. That's because you didn't dampen them, Priya said, surprising herself with her confidence. Add a velocity-based damping term to smooth the robot's response. I did that in my maze project, and it cut latency by 40%. Dr. Kapoor stared, then turned to Priyanka. Can we implement that in an hour? Priyanka nodded, already typing. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Priya watched as the team modified the code, her suggestion integrated into Atlas's navigation system. They ran a test. Atlas navigated the test area, dodging a drone that swooped in unexpectedly. It hesitated briefly but recovered, reaching its target without crashing. The engineers cheered, stunned. Dr. Kapoor turned to Priya, his skepticism replaced by awe. How did you know that? Priya shrugged, shy now. I just saw it in my head. I've been coding navigation stuff for fun. Priyanka laughed. Fun? You just saved our demo. Who are you? Before Priya could answer, Meera Gupta, the CEO, entered, alerted by Samir. What's going on? Why's the delivery girl in my lab? Dr. Kapoor explained, giving Priya full credit. Meera, 50, with a reputation for spotting talent, studied Priya. You're self-taught. Yes, ma'am, Priya said. I want to study computer science, but I work to support my family. Meera nodded, decisive. You're hired. Internship, starting tomorrow. We'll cover your college tuition, full ride. I want you on my team. Priya's jaw dropped. I thank you, but I don't have a degree. You don't need one, Meera said. You just outdid 30 engineers. That's enough for me. The engineers applauded, Priyanka clapping Priya's shoulder. Priya left the lab in a daze, biking home to tell her mother, who cried with pride. That night, she posted on X from her account, @PriyaRides. Delivered lunch to Neo Robotics today, ended up fixing their robot's code.
Got a job and a scholarship.
Still in shock. #NeoRobotics #coding. She included a photo of her bike outside the campus, nothing more. The post went viral by morning, amassing 50,000 likes. Tech enthusiasts shared it with comments like, "This girl's a genius," and "NeoRobotics struck gold." A Bengaluru news outlet picked up the story, interviewing Priya at her modest home. "I just wanted to help," she said. "I didn't expect this." CNN ran a segment. Delivery girl solves robotics puzzle, lands dream job. The New York Times profiled her, calling her a symbol of untapped potential. On X, #PriyaTheSolver trended globally, inspiring stories of self-taught coders breaking barriers. A user posted, "Priya Sharma reminds us, talent's everywhere, not just in Ivy League labs." Neo Robotics' demo was a triumph, with Atlas navigating flawlessly. The UN signed the $200 million contract, and Meera publicly credited Priya, boosting the company's stock 5%. Priya started her internship, working under Priyanka, who became her mentor. She enrolled at IIT Bengaluru, her tuition covered, balancing classes with her new role. Her story sparked change. Neo Robotics launched a program for self-taught coders, offering scholarships to 100 students. Tech firms worldwide followed, scouting talent in unlikely places. Priya's mother framed the news clippings, while Arjun bragged about his sister at school. Priya, now 23, spoke at a tech conference in 2026, her voice steady. "I was just a delivery girl with a laptop," she said. "But someone gave me a chance. Now, I want to give others theirs." One insight, one moment, one girl. The world hasn't stopped talking since.